Hello everyone, so my name is Nick Janicki and I'm a personal tutor within the distance learning team in the criminology department. I'm also the module leader of this first module, Exploring and Understanding Risk and Security. So I've done this video just to give you a brief overview of the module so you know what to expect and also you're able to study it to the best of your ability. Within this video, I'm going to assume that you already have a basic knowledge of Blackboard and how to navigate through it, given that you've worked through the induction to your course on the main course site. However, if this page is looking very unfamiliar to you and you don't know how to navigate through it and you look quite confused, then please do go back to the main course site and work through the induction. It has been put there for a reason, and that reason being to ensure that you start the course on the best footing possible through knowing how to work the virtual online platform and you understand the various different services that can assist you through your studies. So if I move on now to give you an overview of this module is a 30 credit module. It is also split into 8 units, and within each unit there are 3 resources. Within those resources you will find the module content, so what we have written for you about that subject area. You'll also see the required reading, which is essential and you must undertake when working through the module material, because the module has been put together and the reading has been specifically selected to enhance your knowledge of them particular topics or ideas. And there's also going to be some possible recommended reading, which is optional. So the module material, which I will include the sections that we have written for you and the required reading, should take about 2 hours to complete within each resource, and that is designed to give you a basic understanding of the subject area. So if you do want to understand or gain more information about what you have read or particular ideas, etc., then you will need to go beyond the module material. All the reading is included in a module reading list, which you will have access to throughout the module, and there's links within each of the resources to assist you. And whilst you can use that reading list and the recommended reading as well to gain a better understanding, when it comes to your assignment, you will have to move beyond that reading list and undertake your own reviews of the literature and find your own information, etc. But that will be explored a bit further within the first unit. So the module also has intended learning outcomes, which have been highlighted at the very beginning of this module within the overview section. And these intended learning outcomes are what we want you to have gained from completing the module. And the module has been designed with these aims in mind. Also, there are objectives attached to each unit, so that is broken down further, so you know what you should be expected to learn from each of the units as well, and all those learning objectives from the units will obviously contribute to the learning objectives of the module as a whole. Also, the module has been designed so you should work through it sequentially. So you should work through each of the units and resources as they have been laid out for you. The reason for that is a number of very key concepts are explained within the earlier units and then they're built upon and applied later in the module. So if you don't have that basic understanding from the outset, it will result in you struggling with the later modules to understand what points are being raised, etc. So do work through the module sequentially. You will also probably be aware already that the release of the units have been staggered. So first of all, you will only have access to the first unit, which is the academic skills unit, and then after couple of weeks' time, you will also have access to the remainder of the units. The reason for that is because previously, when we have released all the units of this first module to students, they have skipped the first unit and they've just focused on the substantive content for the module. What has then resulted is that students don't spend the time in building them key foundations and them academic skills. So then when they come to write their assignment, they unfortunately don't do particularly well because they don't do what's been asked of them, and they don't include or use the relevant skills when putting that assignment together. So not only can that impact on their grade, but also it can take them some time for them to go back and learn those skills. And some students have not been able to apply them for a couple of modules, so it has impacted on them negatively for a couple of modules. Therefore, we really want you to spend the time at the very beginning to build those skills and knowledge about what we mean by academic writing, how you can achieve it effectively. So that is why that you will only have access to that first module, and that is also quite a structured module. So there are set times when you should be focusing on each of those resources. So it's set over a 3-week period, and also there are webinars built into that first unit, so you can talk through academic skills, etc., with your personal tutor. So it is very structured. It has been designed to really help you build those foundations. So after you have completed that unit, you can then move on to the remainder of them. And I'll just give a very brief overview of what each of those units are about. So the second unit, following the academic skills unit, will focus on the discipline of criminology and how it has influenced security. So it will talk you through the way that criminology as a discipline has developed, the thoughts have developed, how ideas have advanced, and also how they have impacted on security practices and thinking. From there, we move on to the topic of risk, and this third unit is designed to give you a basic understanding of what we mean by risk, because it is not clear cut. There's a lot of ambiguity around terminology when we think about risk, so it helps break that down for you. And it also expands upon what we mean by risk, how we classify risk, and the basic processes that should be in place to manage risk. Following that, you will move on then to consider the discipline of management, and as you will see, there's also a lot of debate as to whether it can be considered a discipline or not. So within that unit, the function and principles of management will be explained along with the theories of management as well. We then return to risk, and we go into a bit more detail about risk by considering those risk theories. And primarily we will focus on risk perception and the psychological and sociological schools of thought there. And following that, within Unit 6, we then move on to risk management and look at that in a bit more detail as well. So we will look at the relevant standards, guidance, also risk modelling, etc. So again, you will apply those concepts and ideas from the earlier units, such as Module 3, within this unit as well. And then we move on to the last 2 units, which are focused on business continuity management and crisis management as well. So they're focusing on the impact of a risk should it materialise, but also what we mean by crisis and how that can be prevented or responded to appropriately. So that's an overview of the module and the different units. If you do have any questions about them, I'm sure you can contact your personal tutor, or rather you can raise a point on the group discussion board and have a debate or discussion amongst your fellow colleagues and personal tutor about that. In terms of the assignment, you will see within the assignment section on this site that there are different elements to the assignment. There are currently 3 different parts to the assignment, and also again they are released at different times, and also the deadlines for those different elements of the assignment are different as well. So please go on or enter the assessment and feedback section on this site and get a bit more understanding of what the different elements of the assignment are. They are explained to you. Also, the weighting of each aspect of the assignment is explained to you, so how it will contribute to your final grade. And also the deadlines for those assignments are also included within that section. So I'll leave it there for now, but best of luck, and I hope you enjoy the module.